Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Chris Flood. I'm the business librarian here at the St. Charles Public Library. Thank you for joining me for Career Conversations. We'll be talking to a dentist who started her practice here in St. Charles. This will be recorded and we'll post it on our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, please submit them via chat. The plan is to offer this program on a monthly basis, and you can see here programs that we have scheduled for January and February. In January, I'll be speaking with a commercial real estate broker, and in February, I'll be speaking with an audiobook narrator. You can register now for the program in January, and you can register for the February program beginning January 1st. The idea of this program, Career Conversations, is that people such as Dr. Jackie Hassenplug, our guest tonight, can provide insights into their career. And I think this could be helpful for three different audiences. The first being people who are considering a career. The second are people who might be contemplating a career change, or the third category would be people looking for a side hustle or extra income. Some of these careers lend themselves more readily to these different categories. And obviously, being a dentist requires a very lengthy and specific education. So it's not likely that someone's considering this for a side hustle. Either way. Anyway, I would like to welcome Dr. Jackie Hassenplug with us tonight, the founder of Smile Haven, located here in St. Charles. Their office is at 100 Illinois Street, which I think is right above Moto Emoto. Is that the right spot?
Yep.
Great,
We're right
great.
upstairs. Thanks for
So
having me.
welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. This is the inaugural event for Career Conversations, so no pressure.
Well, I hope to not disappoint.
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. I appreciate your willingness to do this.
Of
So,
course.
okay, so let's dive right into this. And because this is December, I have to bring this up, and this could be very age specific to me, but I do love the animated film Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And if you're familiar with that, there is a character named Hermie who is an elf who was very frustrated and sad because he didn't want to be an elf. He wanted to be a dentist. Um, and yes, my daughter may have seen that as a young child and said, I want to be a dentist too. It didn't happen for her, but I'm curious. From what age did you think, oh, maybe I want to be a dentist?
So my career path started at a young age. I had a lot of dental work as a kid. I
Mm,
um, had oral surgery and braces twice, expander twice, the whole nine, just because my teeth weren't growing the right way and things like that. So I went through it in more of like a traumatic way, I guess.
mm, mm,
And my second orthodontist, when I was in fifth grade, said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I always knew I wanted to be something medical. I always wanted to be a doctor, a nurse, something in that field. And so I probably answered somewhere along those lines. And he said, "You know, you should be an orthodontist because you're going to be in my chair for a really long time." And that day forward, that's what I
right,
was going to be.
right.
Then I got to dental school and I was like, you know what? I like being more hands-on. I do a
Mm,
lot of ortho, I do Invisalign in my practice.
mm,
But I wanted a little bit of a variety. I didn't want to just
right,
only do that.
right,
So that's why I stayed general.
right.
Yeah.
Terrific. That's interesting. So what path did you take then for your education? Because I know it's extensive. It's not
It
something you decide on a whim.
That's for sure. Yeah, this is not your side hustle. It's a very expensive
Right,
side hustle,
right,
unfortunately.
right,
But you go to undergrad, so you can pick any major. It's not something that you have to have like a science background major.
mm,
So I wanted to be a little more unique. My family's Italian. I spoke Italian growing up, so
Mm,
one of my majors was Italian. Another one was public health. I was in the mindset of what if I never got into school? What is something
mm,
else that I also might be interested in pursuing? And I knew I didn't want to be stuck in a science lab and, just sitting in like a chemistry lab type of situation. And so I was like, well, public health is like more my field. I want to still help people. I still want to do that kind of thing. So I majored in those two things, and then I have a psych minor, and I think that's it for undergrad.
right.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah, so that's undergrad.
right. And then grad school.
Yep. So grad school is optional. You can some people take like a couple gap years. You
Mm,
can go to grad school and get a master's in something first, or you can go direct admit to dental school.
okay.
Dental school is very competitive to get into. You have to
Mhm,
take specific exams like the DAT. You have to have a specific grade point average. You have to have all these different things on your resume. And so a lot of people don't get in their first try.
mm,
So some people do take another, course of action in between,
mhm,
or they go work for a couple years, it just depends. Um, then you go to dental school. So dental school is 4 years. So
okay.
2 years, you're kind of hands-on on a model, and you're taking all your your science classes.
Mhm,
So you're doing all of the med school courses pretty much. So you basically are in all of the med school courses as well as the dental school courses. And
okay.
then you're working on mannequins. And then your second 2 years, you're in the clinic where you see patients every day, just like a normal practice. So
Mhm,
that's your time to really practice and get to know how to treat patients and see some really cool things. And then after that, you graduate and you're able to practice day one once you have your license and you take your boards. Um, People then decide to do a couple different things. You can go to what they call a GPR program, which is extra training. If you aren't feeling confident enough in yourself, or if you just want an extra training in more like of a surgical residency or something like that.
mhm,
Or you can specialize and go into a wide number of specialties. So you can go into like orthodontics and do braces and Invisalign. You can do periodontics, which is like gum health and implants, oral surgery. Those are the ones that take out your wisdom teeth or other teeth, and then
mhm,
implants as well. They do a lot of other more complicated things too, but
right.
just kind of giving you an idea of some of the
Mhm,
things that you could specialize in. And that varies on specialty of how long that takes.
right.
So, like some oral surgeons go to school for another 6 years after dental school.
Wow. So that's
Yeah.
four undergrad, four dental school, and six for a specialty.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. So it
Right,
depends on the program, but yeah.
right.
So,
Well, I mean, it would make sense, especially since there's not, like with med school, it's 4 years and then there's residency
correct.
internship, right? So that, I mean, and they're doing, you're all doctors. So that's a good thing that you're getting a very thorough education. We appreciate that.
Yes,
You
exactly.
mentioned you could do a GPR. What does that stand for?
General practice residency. So
Okay.
basically being just a regular general dentist, you're
Okay.
just getting a little couple extra years of training. So kind of
Okay.
similar to medical students. When you go to med school, you do get some like rotations in different scenarios, but then you go out and you do your residency program
Got
and
it.
get a little bit more training, more hands-on.
Mhm.
Um, so it's kind of like that where it's a little bit extra, but we have our residency already kind of built into our education
Right.
versus
Right.
they don't. They have that extra
Hmm.
portion afterwards. So that's where it's just more training if you feel like you need it.
Right. Right. I think you were clairvoyant in choosing public health and psychology. Psychology, obviously, because anyone who works with people at any level would probably benefit from having a understanding of psychology and public health. Who knew? I mean, who could have predicted everything that um, that happened that having a public health background would only help you understand, you know,
Definitely was a nice background to have and to
right,
understand the process of what was going on because I already
mm,
knew all of that process and
right,
how they kind of categorize everything during COVID. And so, yeah, it definitely does help. And then the psych,
right,
it helps understand people and help make them more comfortable in the dental
hmm,
office. And that's really my goal. And that's why I created Smile Haven. I wanted to make sure it was something that was very comfortable and welcoming for people to come into because I know it's not everyone's favorite place. I hear it
right,
every day.
yeah,
And so I wanted to make sure that was something that, you know, was comforting for patients and
right.
wanting them to improve their health.
I think the name is great, Smile Haven. I mean, it's just very welcoming and great. Okay, back to the questions before I get off track here. Um, okay, so we've kind of covered your education. I'm curious, did you have anything that was your favorite part of your education through the whole process that you look back and you think, wow, that was great.
I most people like look back at medical school or dental school and they're like, that was horrible. I never want to go back. Um, but I loved my 4 years in dental school.
Hmm.
I actually went back and taught for a while too.
Oh, well done.
So I
Yeah,
guess that drew me back. But and at
right,
some point, I would love to teach again. Just right now, life is too crazy starting a
right.
business. And
Your plate is full. Your plate is
yeah,
full.
exactly.
Okay, if that's your favorite, again, the whole process, what was your least favorite part of it?
The undergrad, like, so you have to have requisites for going
Hmm.
to dental school. A lot of the undergrad classes I had to take for my prerequisites. When I look back, I'm like, what did that have anything to do with me? You know what I mean?
Right,
It was like
right,
I wasted some of that time that I could have been like studying something else and like being
right,
more
right.
focused on my education, but that's kind
Hmm.
of how they make sure you're ready, you know?
Right.
And so I understand why it's done and why we need those courses,
Hmm.
but I did not love a lot of those.
Right. That is very fair,
Yeah.
especially if you don't understand why you're doing it.
Yes,
You know, I think we can all do a lot if we think, well, this is good for me. But
exactly. Yeah.
okay. So yay for St. Charles that you chose us as the place to open your practice. Um, was that a difficult process, selecting a location and everything that entails?
It is, you kind of you're like, where do you want to settle down? Do you want to live where you practice? Do you want to not live where you practice? I have a lot
Mhm.
of friends who don't want to be anywhere near where they practice. They don't want to see patients on the weekends. They, would like to have some privacy. I, on the
Right.
other hand, I love St. Charles. I love being in
Hmm.
St. Charles. I hope to move to St. Charles in the near
Right.
future. Um, I don't mind that. I like seeing people out in public and, hey, come
Right.
see me if I'm out at dinner or whatever, say hi. So for me, we happened to be out at dinner and I was
Ah.
already looking in the general vicinity
Hmm.
and we were in downtown St. Charles. I was like, well, let's drive around and see what's available.
Yeah.
And I saw the for rent sign and I was like,
Right.
well, let's call.
What can it hurt? What can it hurt? Right. Right.
So,
So
yeah.
good for you. That's great. And it's a fun location.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, there's so much going on First Street. I know there have been, there were construction and parking, but I mean, it's a great street. I mean, that intersection is a great one with Whole Foods open now. I mean, you're in a great spot. So,
Yeah, it's fun. Our neighbors are all really great. Like we all kind of, get to know each other. Some of them are
mhm,
my patients now. But we really all kind of have that community feel, I feel like, and
mhm.
everyone wants to
Yes,
help each other grow
nice.
and that kind of thing. So, and of course having Whole Foods is also nice because I can run
Right.
across the street and
There you go.
stuff at lunch or whatever.
Yes, there you go. Um, And living in town, you're not worried about, say, being spotted at Kimmer's, right? Getting ice
Oh,
cream and
I am the dentist that is like, yes,
right,
go
right,
eat in moderation,
right.
but
That's
I
what
love ice
flossing's
cream.
for. Right. Yeah, right.
So,
Okay.
no, you will see me there.
Good, good. Um, okay, so this is an impossible question, probably, but could you describe a typical day for you?
Yeah, every day kind of varies.
Hmm.
Because I do such a wide variety of procedures. I pretty much do almost everything except wisdom teeth extractions and placing implants. So I do root canals, I do everything. So a typical day, depending on the day of the week, I have early hours, I have late night hours, so those hours vary. But pretty much I have one hygienist and myself and an assistant and a front desk. So the hygienist and myself work together side by side in two different rooms. She's doing all of my new patient appointments, my cleanings, deep cleanings, things like that, all of the maintenance of keeping everything nice and healthy. And then I'm in the other room doing the treatment. So I do
Hmm.
anything from like fillings to root canals, extractions, Invisalign, veneers, crowns, bridges, all the
Wow, wow,
fun
you
things.
really are. Right.
So I do pretty much all of that. I do a lot of cosmetic stuff. That's what I love.
Hmm.
It's fun. Everybody, patients who don't love their smile, that's my main goal is I want to see every patient walk out smiling. And if
Hmm.
they're not, we need to change it.
Right.
If you're not happy on a day-to-day basis and you're ashamed of your smile, like let's work on that, right? Um, and so I do a lot of that kind of thing. But I also see kids. I
Hmm.
love having kids in my chair. We try to make it fun and educational. So my day really varies. It could be I'm
Hmm.
in a room for about an hour and a half with a patient for a root canal, or I could be doing a filling for maybe an hour.
Right.
It really depends.
It varies.
Yeah.
So since it is your practice and you are the dentist, are you involved with all the business aspects of it, or do you get help with that?
For the most part, am involved in most of it. I have my front desk does all of my insurance stuff.
Hmm.
So they do, I have two front desk girls. They're both fantastic. One is more full-time with me and others part-time. But they do all of like the insurance verification, making sure people's benefits are active. They do all of my billing, my insurance processing, sending everything to insurance, checking on your claims. So we send out your claims for patients, so it goes to insurance for them to pay us back. Um, and so that typically takes quite a while. Insurance isn't always that fast at paying. They don't like to pay.
Hmm.
And so they have to do all the follow-up to that. So I have help on
Right.
that aspect.
Hmm.
But in terms of like payroll and the business side, I do all that myself.
Right. Right. Um, I'm just curious, was that covered in any part of your dental school education, or did you seek that out in undergrad?
Yeah.
Because what I find from working with small business owners in the area is very often your passion is what got you into your business. And then you realize, oh, right, I have to learn QuickBooks and I have to do marketing. And that surprises a lot of people. But I would think maybe with opening a dental practice, you could have joined another dentist or you could have gone this route. And going into it that that's going to involve business, right?
Yeah. So was very lucky, I think. I went to a dental school that did give you some business background. I
Mm.
think dental schools are trying to put more and more of that into the dental education because it is a big part of it. Whether you're an associate at another office, like I was for the first 5 years of my career, or whether you want to start your own business, you still have to know that part of the business because
Right.
dentists aren't paid like a regular paycheck. So you as an associate still have to know some of that.
Hmm.
So they do teach you that in school a little bit, not a ton. Um, That's something that I think they could work on more. But I was very lucky as a kid. My dad was an accountant. I
Ah.
worked at his office in the summers. I was
Right,
unpaid
right,
help.
right,
So he
right,
taught me how to
right.
do payroll, balance,
Oh,
book,
wow.
all of those
You were, I mean, talk about if we were making a you know, from the start dentist for being
Yes.
perfect for this,
Yeah.
firsthand experience as a child, learning accounting,
Yeah.
hands-on. I mean,
Yeah. I still
you're
call him.
tailor-made. Yeah.
I called him today. I said, Dad, I need
Yeah.
this form. Where do I find that?
We're so
But
lucky if you have people like that in your life that can answer those questions. That's a real gift. So,
and I always tell people too, like I have a lot of students that reach out to me. I have I feel like a social media presence in the dental world a little bit, just because I do a lot of different podcasts and things like that, and I'm
mhm,
very involved in organized dentistry. And so a lot of people reach out and said, how do you do X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, nothing is better than being hands-on in the office you're working at.
mm,
I was very lucky that the office I was working at, the front desk wanted to teach and they wanted to learn.
mm,
Doctor
great,
was very willing. So,
nice.
other ways to like learn besides, yes, having a dad who's an accountant is a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
asset.
yeah.
But there's other ways to go about it. There's tons of courses out there.
Hmm.
We have to take continuing education
Hmm.
every, 3 years. We have to have a certain amount of education we take. And
Hmm.
those count. Those business classes count towards that. So
Ah, right,
always, growth.
right, right. Good. Let's see. Okay. What is something that you think people would find surprising about your job?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know. I think a lot of people don't realize like what we do on a day-to-day basis. Like they think like,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of just come in, we say, hi, how are you? Look in your mouth. Okay, you're great. See you in 6 months.
Right, right.
Um,
Uh,
and then if they do need work, they're like, oh God, why?
yeah, yeah.
Trust me, I hate to tell people bad news just as much
Oh,
as you
yeah.
want to
Yeah.
hear it, right? I don't love to tell you the bad things, but we want to be there to help you. Um, but yeah, the most surprising thing, I think the dental school, like maybe costs, especially because we're talking about career
Oh,
paths.
right, right.
Um, I think a lot of people don't know what dental school costs these days.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
just
How
dental,
does it compare to other
other,
professional schools, would you say? Do you know?
it's one of the highest.
Oh gosh. Huh.
So just dental school alone, on average, is anywhere between 200 and $700,000, depending on your school for 4 years.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
So
gosh.
we spend a lot of money to get to where we are.
Right,
Uh,
right, right,
and so people kind of are like, well, why does a crown cost $1,000?
right.
We have a lot of overhead. We have a lot of
Yeah,
supplies. We have
yeah,
lab bills. We have staff to pay. So I always know patients always really get nervous about that kind of thing. And I think they don't realize we went to school for forever. We have all
yeah,
this debt for forever.
yeah.
And we want to give you the best possible care. So we're using the best possible materials.
Right.
And so it all ends up adding up, unfortunately.
I think it's important when you're thinking, oh, people don't want to hear bad news or don't want to know about the costs. Um, if anyone's ever had a bad dental experience, you're going to be willing to pay almost
Yep,
anything to resolve that. You
it is
know,
true.
there are certain pains in life that are not ignorable.
Yep.
Um, and uh, anything going wrong with your mouth, your bite, your jaw, I mean, that ranks way up there,
Yeah, for sure.
back pain, head pain, a stick in the eye. Those are all, you can tune out a broken finger, possibly, but
Yeah,
problems with your mouth, you need someone who knows what they're doing. So,
exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Is there anything um, that you would like people to know about visiting the dentist? Like I know I've heard on social media people say, I tell my dentist I floss and I haven't flossed in 10 years. Like, do you want everyone to know? I know you flossed in the car on the way here.
We do know. It's very easy to tell.
Right, right,
But I think the biggest thing is like, trust me, we have seen it all. Do
right,
not be embarrassed. I think a lot of
right.
people, if they haven't been in a while, now they're ashamed to come in.
Oh, right,
We're not here to like, belittle you. We want to help. We want
right.
to get you back on track. And so I think that's the biggest thing. Like I see it all the time with new patients that come in, they're like, I haven't been to the dentist in 20 years. And I'm like, that's okay. You're here
Right. You're
now.
here.
Like
Right.
that's you made that
Fantastic.
step, you made the appointment. Like I don't care that you haven't brushed your teeth in 2 weeks. Fine, we will work on it.
Right.
Baby
Right.
steps. Like I don't expect overnight
Right.
change. I think that's
That's
the biggest thing.
that's really good. And that's also probably tough to convey in a
Yeah.
social media message or your marketing. Like it's
Yeah.
okay if you're not up to speed on,
Yeah.
but knowing
Like,
that it's
hey,
a haven, right?
exactly.
That's
Am I
good.
perfect at flossing every single day? No, and that's okay. We're human. I'm a dentist
Right.
and I will say
Right. Right.
I didn't floss today. Maybe I
Right.
will get to it tonight.
Yeah. There you go. I'm sure
Yep.
you will. I
Great.
don't doubt you, but okay, just a couple more questions here. Would you have any advice for someone considering this as a career?
Yeah, I go come shadow. I have patients like come shadow all the time if they're interested, especially if you're in high school and you're like not sure.
Mhm.
Come spend a day with me. I am more than happy, or any dentist. I'm sure your dentist would be thrilled and honored to say, like, hey, I think I might want to check out what you do. Um, like every dentist is like, oh my God, like what an honor. Everyone hates
Right,
coming to the dentist. So
right,
we get so excited when we hear that someone might be interested.
right.
So check it out. Shadow, even if it's not dentistry, right? And it's a different profession, go follow that person for a day
Mm,
because you can really see what they do. Like maybe you think, oh, like I want to do medical. Like I shadowed a doctor when I was in high school, and I was
mhm.
like, oh yeah, no, this is not for me. Yeah, I don't like this.
Right, right,
And then I shadowed a dentist. I was like, oh yeah, this is way more my speed.
right, right. This is my place right
Yeah,
here.
exactly. And so you can really see like, do you see yourself here doing this every day? You have to love what you do.
Mm,
Like I love what I do every single day. And so I don't
mm,
really work, right? I
right,
enjoy going to work in the morning. I enjoy my team. And so I don't ha feel like I'm working. I just go and
right,
I'm doing my hobby.
right. That's
Minus
great.
paying
That's great.
bills.
Yeah, and you get paid, and you get to
Yeah,
pay other people, which is
exactly.
really, that's really that makes a difference here in the community. Every thriving business is good for our community. And
Well, and you don't have to go all the way to dental school, right? Like there's so many things in dentistry that you don't
hmm,
have to go to 8 years of school to be involved in the dental community.
hmm,
You can be an assistant and go to assisting school for 6 months.
right.
You can be a hygienist and go to hygiene school for 2 to 3 years. You can be front desk and learn on the job.
Mhm.
There's just so many different ways, or you can even go into dental sales. Like, there's so many different ways you can help patients and
Right,
not be chairside or be chairside besides
right,
being a dentist. So that's kind of
right,
the cool thing too, is like there's so much flexibility. If like your life doesn't, you don't want to be in school or you don't love to study 24/7, I get it. That's okay. There's other
right.
things you can do to still kind of be involved in the dental community.
Fantastic. This is great. Okay, one last question. Um, if you weren't doing this job, this career currently, what do you think you would be doing?
How did I know you were gonna
Too
ask this
tough
when
to imagine, huh?
I didn't prepare myself for that one.
Sorry. That was a
I
last
knew
minute
that was gonna
thought.
be a good
Yeah,
question.
right.
I want to say like a country singer, but my patience will tell you if there's
Okay,
a good song.
this is your stage. Let's hear it.
Oh, let me tell you, I'm horrific. There's there's days where
Uh,
like a good song will come on in the radio and I'll be like, nah,
yeah,
nah, nah," and like I'll start singing. And I had one kid. Don't you love kids? Kids
yeah.
are, they will
They're
tell,
honest. They're
they're
brutal.
honest.
Yeah.
And he's like, shh. And I was like, you don't like my singing? He's like, you sound like my sister.
Oh,
I said, was your sister good? She's horrible.
oh,
He said, oh,
oh.
thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay, I guess I'll keep doing this.
So I'll keep doing that. It's great.
Well, it's great that you love it, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's
So I
really
guess no
good.
country singer over here.
Right. Oh, that's terrific. Okay, well, that's all I have. So, and we don't have any questions in the chat. So I think we're done. Any last thoughts you'd like to share? I,
No,
I, I think
come
we've covered it.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, reach out to us if you have any questions. I'm always happy to answer. If you're thinking of coming into the career of dentistry, or any portion of dentistry, my staff's
right,
always happy to talk to. But yeah, just reach out to us. You could follow us on Instagram or Smile Haven Dental Studio, or
right.
call the office.
Okay, terrific. Thank you so much for your
Of
time. I really
course.
appreciate this.
No problem. It was so nice. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate being the first one.
Okay. And the recording will be posted in the next few days. So, people who are registered, you'll get a link and it'll be on our YouTube channel. So again, thank you, Dr. Jackie. And you heard it. If you have any questions about this career, she's open to talking to you. So thanks everyone and take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.